Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts 358 of a 2 days cutscene commentary. It's time for us to continue our journey along the story of Roxas and everything, and yeah, everything's sort of starting to fall apart a wee bit because Shion's a failure, and Axel's lying to Roxas, and just everything is not very pretty at all. And really, it's from this point that everything starts to go seriously badly wrong for Roxas and Axel and Shion. Because obviously, the second you stop communicating effectively with each other, you just lose any hope you had at reaching a happy ending, really. I mean, something that obviously I went over when we were doing Birth by Sleep, but it's that whole thing of the tragedy and Greek tragedy and Shakespearean tragedy and just tragedy in general. A lot of it is to do with just a lack of communication between people. I think it is something that is more the case in contemporary tragedy, but it certainly is there in the Shakespearean and the Greek. And it does just always lead to really depressing stuff. And yeah, throughout pretty much just the entirety of the end sort of half of Days, I just feel really, really bad for everyone involved. It's really sad.
Sorry. Oh. Did you bring me these seashells?
Do you hear it?
Yeah. The sound of the waves. How long was I asleep?
About 20 days.
That long?
Yeah. You were sleeping so much that me and Axel were getting worried.
I'm sorry about that. Kind of weird that we can feel anything at all without having hearts to feel with. Hey, Roxas, don't you have work today?
Huh? Oh, I'm about to head out.
I'd like to tag along.
But don't you need some more rest?
I'll be fine. Come on, take me with you.
All right. Sure. Shion!
It's my lucky charm. Be sure to bring it back to me.
And this, my friends, is why you don't overexert yourself when you're ill. Like, you just don't do it. Like, seriously? If you're not well enough, then doing anything is just going to end really, really badly.
Break again.
She's not an it!
Keep your mouth shut.
And Sykes just continues to be an absolute asshole. Nothing new there.
Happened at Castle Oblivion.
Sora?
Does the past mean nothing to you?
Well, considering you're an asshole now, Sykes, more so than you ever were in Birth by Sleep, I think, yeah, no, it doesn't really, because, like, he's got new friends who are much better friends, and also nicer people.
I mean, you don't like things to be complicated.
You know, Roxas, each day, the three of us meet up there for ice cream. Now, why do you think that is?
Huh?
I mean, if you think about it, I don't need to go out of my way to meet you guys, right?
I don't know.
You want me to tell you why? It's because you guys are my best friends.
Oh.
Get it memorized, all right? We are best friends.
Oh yeah. Guess we are.
Thanks, Axel. You're sweet.
Are you feeling better?
I just got a little dizzy, that's all. Sorry to worry you guys.
Don't scare us like that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just take it easy today.
I will. Thanks, both of you.
And I think Naminé has finally figured out exactly what is going on. Which is certainly unfortunate, let's put it that way. And Axel is also finding out what is going on. And whilst Roxas and so on and so forth are having fun in Neverland, you know, plot is going to continue onwards, it's probably worth just going over just the general reception 2 days. I mean, when it came out, pretty much the general reaction, I think, was mediocre to positive. Most of the focus was on the game's graphics and the storyline, so there's a mixture of things there. The graphics were heavily praised at the time, with Chris Hoffman and Steve Thomason of Nintendo Power going as far as to call them among the best on the system at the time, and complimented the familiar feel of the gameplay and its transition between the PlayStation home consoles and the portable Nintendo ones. While obviously those graphics have aged horrendously, I would say that at the time, for the DS, they were pretty goddamn impressive. Game Informer gave the game an 8 out of 10, praising the graphics for excellent production values and the journey of the camera controls from the PlayStation analog stick to the DS shoulder buttons.
Nobody.
Famitsu gave it a 36 out of 40, so 9s across the board, praising the graphical quality of the game and saying they were at a level which had not been seen on a DS before, further complimenting the gameplay mechanics and missions. They were also particularly impressed with the new panel system to allow players to customise their fighting techniques and customise characters from the organisation. Unlike many of the other reviewers, they praised the story as strongly captivating. I would agree with that slightly agree with that assessment of it being captivating.
You are a witch who has power.
But I think that, as I've said, it's one that is captivating when you look at it from a slightly different angle to how most people would perhaps prefer their Kingdom Hearts games to be, of having action, well, a bit more action in it, having a bit more obvious good versus evil stuff, not introducing completely brand new characters who have slightly odd backstories.
Hey, Axel.
They just will sort of want a simple narrative throughfare with the Kingdom Hearts craziness going on around it. At least that's sort of how it seems to me, in a way.
What is it like?
So, the Australian video game talk show Good Games, 2 reviewers gave it a 7 out of 10 and 7.5 out of 10. Very grateful that the game didn't force the use of a stylus, especially when it came to battle. Ditto on that front. The RPG fan reviewer gave the game 81 out of 100, praising the visual and oral quality. However, they did express disappointment that most of the music in the game is recycled from Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2, considering, you know, all the worlds are from KH1 and KH2. Makes sense. I think really the only new songs that were introduced were Musique pour la Tristesse de Shion and sort of the final boss theme. I think they're probably the only ones that were completely brand new. There probably were some others, but I know that those are the 2 that I would go to as being key brand new themes for the game. Kevin Van Ord of GameSpot was complimentary of the single player mode, commenting specifically that the artificial intelligence controlled organisation members were helpful and competent. He also praised the multiplayer mode's gameplay as fun and citing the ease of using magic spells and items.
Where did that idea come
So
from?
pretty well received in that sense. On the flip side, the controls and the story were particularly criticised by reviewers. Van Ord stated that the on-screen character ended up in one of the game field's corners often. I don't think that quite makes much sense. Doesn't matter. RP Gamer was highly critical of them. Well, all those facts, giving it a 2.5 out of 5. And reviewer Alex Reimer concluded many fans of the series may be turned off by the lackluster controls and odd story directions taken with this portable spin-off. The official Nintendo magazine gave the game a 69%, praising the graphics and gameplay, but critical of the constant backtracking and confusing plot. Good Games reviewers stated that while the plot was confusing and made little sense for players new to the series, it still drew the player in and filled in the gaps of the storyline for continuing players of the series. They surmised that the repetition of worlds and missions, overall lack of variety, combined with lengthy storytelling, really hurt the gaming experience. I think Good Games reviewers probably hit the nail a little bit more on the head than I think most of the other reviewers. Because it is, well, as I've said already, it's repetition of worlds and missions, lack of variety in those, the game being quite lengthy and constantly going back to eating salty salt ice cream at the clock tower. It's all of those that I think contribute to Days being arguably the least liked game in the Kingdom Hearts series. I think if you stripped away some of that fluff, it wouldn't be nearly as reviled, I suppose, as it is.
Somebody accessed our main computer without
But yes, the plot is thickening and we're on day 220, 225, 255, which, if you were paying attention right at the start of the game, that was basically where our story here began. So we've come full circle. But you didn't realise that the whole thing was sort of flashbacking in a way.
Things you hear from a guy with no heart.
No matter what unfolds, our plans remain unchanged. Axel, Roxas, and Xion will play the respective roles that Kingdom Hearts has given them.
But sir, Xion...
Leave it be. How can you not see how perfect this is? In truth, this is more than perfect. Xion is marching right into the arms of destiny, but to destiny's own time. We need not take any more steps. All we must do is watch with caution and patience.
My head hurts.
This is the last you'll ever see of these walls, Xion.
Axel, what are you doing here?
I'm just here on orders, that's all. There's nothing for you to see here.
Lies. This is the place I come from. I just know it.
What about your mission? Don't be selfish.
Or else they'll turn me into a dusk?
They'll do worse than turn you into a dusk. They'll just destroy you.
And is that because I'm useless?
That's not it. Xion, go home.
I'm remembering things. I have memories of back when I was a human.
Well, stop remembering. Nothing good will come of it.
I have dreams every night. And you're in those dreams, Axel.
And they sure aren't memories. How can I be a part of your past? They're just dreams, that's all.
You can't fool me. We've met before, Axel. Right here in this castle.
No, we have not. Let's go home, Shion. Don't keep Roxas waiting.
Please, Axel. You've got to help me. I need to know who I am.
Stop! Stay out of there, Shion! You're early.
No, you're just late. Today makes 255.
What's that about?
It's been that many days since I first joined the organization. Man, time flies.
So, you got the number memorized, do you?
Yeah. Have to hang on to something, right? It's not like I have memories from before the organization. Don't you remember? I acted like a zombie.
Right. That first week, you could barely form a sentence. But come on, you're still kind of a zombie.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Roxas. Bet you don't know why the sun sets red. You see, light is made up of lots of colors. And out of all those colors, red is the one that travels the farthest.
Like I asked, know-it-all. Seriously, where is she?
What? Then I wasn't who I am?
And so, at last, Shion knows the truth. Roxas still doesn't, but Shion certainly does. And Axel does as well. But yes, Shion has now completely disappeared. And, it's all really sad. But yes, continuing on sort of plot stuff happening, might as well just go into a little bit of the sales stuff to do with Days, because it actually did quite well. So it was the top-selling game during May 2009 in Japan at 291,000 copies, even though it was released during the final week of the month. The following week, it was again the top-selling game in the region at 106,000 copies. By August 2009, it sold 490,000 copies in Japan, and was also one of the most reserved games for the DS. By the end of 2009, it sold 571,981 copies in Japan alone, making it the 12th best-selling game in Japan of 2009, which is nuts! The MPD group showed that the game had sold over 360,000 copies in North America at October 2009. And in November 2009, Square Enix announced that the game had sold 1.22 million units worldwide. So, it sold really well. Like, considering how many people, say how much they dislike Days, it did sell really well. And did really well. Obviously did well enough for them to think that doing Recoded was a good idea. And then you've also got a very interesting thing of, in the Nintendo 2009 Power Awards, Days was nominated for 7 awards: Nintendo DS Game of the Year, Best Sound/Voice Acting, Best Adventure Game, Best Nintendo DS Graphics, Best New Character for Shion, Best Story/Writing, and Overall Game of the Year.
Surely.
And on February the 16th, 2010, it was announced that Days actually won all 7 of those awards in the Nintendo 2009 Power Awards, and that was from a reader's vote. So the readers of that magazine actually felt that it was one of the sort of the best games on the DS of that year, which is nuts. But I mean, I guess it just shows that there's actually a lot of complicated feelings towards Days. Makes sense, I suppose.
That's a lie. I remember everyone from the islands. They're my closest friends.
And who threw away those friends? Maybe it's your own actions you've forgotten. It was you who destroyed your home.
Who am I? What am I here for? So we meet again.
You made me a promise.
Yeah,
I
at last
remember.
Riku is finally
It was to look
properly
after Sora.
entering into this story.
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I've kept that promise very well.
Can you tell me what's happening?
Some of Sora's memories are missing.
How could that be?
Sora's memories are escaping through Sora's nobody into a third person. And now, they're starting to become a part of her.
Isn't there a way to bring back just Sora's memories?
If they're still separate, then I think I can take out fragments of it. But if her memories and Sora's memory fragments are completely weaved together, I would need to untangle them from each other, and that would take more time. Which means it would take even longer before Sora can wake up again. And Diz wouldn't tolerate that.
So what can you do?
If I just jump in and rearrange her memory, then Sora might wake up, only to find out that nobody remembers him anymore. That's a risk I just can't take. It's too late either way. Sora's awakening has already been delayed. Sora's nobody, and the one that's absorbing his memory. None of us imagined that they would fight so hard to become their own people. Unfortunately, the only real solution is for them both to go away. Did you know? Her face was blank at first. But now, there is a face that is clearly visible. I think that's proof that she has entered Sora's memories. Sora's memories, Sora's nobody's memories, and her memories. They're all a jumbled mess now, and to put them back into one, I'm afraid there's no other way.
All right.
Is it that I'm not supposed to exist?
Well, what do you want to do, Xion?
I want to be with you two.
Then come back with us.
I can't. Not the way I am now. But what would it take for me to be like you?
Hey, it's been a while.
You think so?
So, I went to the beach today. And there was this girl who looked kind of like Shion.
Kyrie.
But I couldn't get close enough to tell for sure.
I mean, it's probably Kyrie,
imagined it.
but God only knows at
To
this
be
point.
honest, I'm not even sure today's mission really happened. Feels like I just woke up from a dream or something. Do you remember our promise? When we said that the three of us would go to the beach on our next break? Maybe that's why. Maybe I saw Shion there because I wanted her to be there.
Wanna go look for her?
Huh?
Beginning tomorrow, let's use our spare time to find Shion.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Let's do that.
I mean, it's completely against Xemnas' orders, but then to be fair, Xemnas is a bit of an asshole, so does it really matter? Just, you know, completely disobey him? It's probably for the best, to be fair. Now, I was actually just having a nosy at the 358 of 2 days Wikipedia page, because obviously that's where I've gotten most of my information for this cutscene commentary so far, and I actually noticed that it did say that I think when they were going to originally do the 1.5 HD remix compilation, there was discussions, I think, that were had about doing a full remake of Days. But I think that they decided that was probably a bit too much work. And so it was ultimately decided that this was the best way forward. So they kind of brought the voice actors back in to do some extra voice work. And I think there's officially about 70% of the plot still here.
No use.
Or 70% of the main plot. There is definitely some stuff that gets the chop.
Alright.
Some of which I feel should not have gotten the chop, but you take what you can get, really, I suppose. It'd be nice if there was all of it there, but I suppose it would have made it even longer than 3 hours, which is a lot of cutscene to go through.
And the day before she disappeared, you said she was put on an important mission, remember?
Yeah. But there's nothing there anymore.
Well, Shion might be there.
Apparently, Shion comes from Castle Oblivion.
What?
And that's probably why she was asking about the place.
I had no idea.
Me neither. I only found out a little while ago.
Castle Oblivion. Shion. So, this is Castle Oblivion.
Yeah, I'm getting bloody sick of its blooming corridors. Like, I had enough of this in blooming
Roxas?
Chain of Memories. I don't need it more now. I mean, I know I'm probably going to get even more of it in Kingdom Hearts 3, but just like, guys, I want to get away from Castle Oblivion for a bit, please. I mean, at least I know I might even get it in blooming Recoded. God's sake. I will at least get it in Dreamed Up Distance and 0.2 Birthplace Leap Fragmentary Passage. I will get it in there. That'll be alright then. It's going to be gone for a little bit after the next cutscene commentary.
My head.
I like the idea of Castle Oblivion, but I think just all of Chain of Memories just made me really sick of the bloody place.
There's something I can almost...
Giving up already? I thought you were stronger than that.
Riku!
Are you all right?
What happened to me?
You collapsed just as you entered the castle doors. Don't you remember?
I only remember going inside.
Just take it easy for now.
I'm fine. Let's go back to Castle Oblivion.
Don't push yourself, man. Who's there?
Shion? Shion! Wait! Out of the way! Hey!
Roxas, wait!
I do question the logic of obviously what just happened
I
there.
thought the imposter was sighted in
But
Castle Oblivion.
clearly, decisions don't always make a huge amount of
No way
sense,
that was
and
Shion.
you just have to kind of take
The
it.
one who ran away first was Shion. But why run?
You want to go back?
But yes, we are getting very, very, very close to day 300 and sort of the final 58 days of Roxas's time in the organisation, but
Shion.
here once again is Shion.
Where have you been? Axel and I have been looking all over for you.
You have? Sorry.
Let's go home. If you come back voluntarily, Sykes will let all this drop. He has to. I don't care what he said to you. I'll be there. Me and Axel will make sure...
I really can't.
Why not? Come on! Wait!
Well, hello there, Shion.
Axel? No, wait! Stop! Shion!
What you going to do that for, Axel? Bloody hell.